Okay, students. In solution topic, we have learned what is the vapor pressure. Understand? For volatile solvents. Now, suppose when we take pure volatile solvent, the vapor pressure is we consider is as pure vapor pressure. If we add to a volatile solvent, means liquid solvent, if we add non-volatile solid, what happens? What is the condition? What is the condition? When we add non-volatile solid, non-volatile solid to volatile solvent. Understand? Now see here. Yesterday I have explained you take a closed vessel and water inside. Understand? When you supply flame to it at equilibrium condition, means when the liquid state and vapor particles become equilibrium, what happens? The vapor particles comes and strike the surface of the liquid at equilibrium position. Due to that, a pressure applied on the surface of liquid, that is called as vapor pressure. Understand? At a given temperature. Now, suppose this is a pure solvent. This is the pure solvent, and its vapor pressure we can consider as, suppose the solvent is A and solute is B. Understand? Now, the pure solvent vapor pressure is P naught A. Understand? Now, after adding non-volatile solid, understand, what happens? These are the water particles. Okay, these are the water particles. Now, when we are supplying heat, what happens? They get evaporated and come back, the vapor particle, and hit the surface of the liquid. Many times I have explained, when the heat on the surface of the liquid, they apply the pressure on unit area. Okay, so that pressure is called as vapor pressure. But what happens when we add non-volatile solute particles? See here, when we take only pure liquids, on the surface of this liquid, only liquid particle present. When we are heat, suppose we consider on the surface of this liquid 100 liquid particle present. So 100 liquid particle evaporates. Understand? When we take only pure volatile solvent, on the surface of the solvent liquid, if we consider 100 particles of liquid present, solvent 100 particle present, the 100 particle evaporates. Understand? And again 100 particles comes and hit the surface of the liquid, means the number of particle applying pressure is 100. Whereas when we add non-volatile solid into the volatile solvent, what happens? The surface of the solvent, liquid solvent, means the liquid surface, earlier there are 100 particles present on the liquid surface. Now, among those 100 particles, 50 particles of the liquid, among 100 particles displaced by the solid particles, means among 100 particles 50 particles goes off, and those 50 particles space occupied by non-volatile solids. Means now here on this surface, how many solid particle? 50 solid particle and 50 liquid particle. Means 50 volatile and 50 non-volatile. Now, when we supply it continuously, only 50 particles goes up and 50 particles comes back. Understand? Understand? Now earlier here, when there is no mixture of solid non-volatile component, here 100 particles of the volatile solvent going up and coming back 100 particle and applying the pressure. Whereas here half of the liquid particle displaced by the solid solute, then only 50% of the liquid particle goes off and again they come back and apply the pressure. Means what happening? Earlier 100 particle applied the pressure, now that 100 become half, means 50 particle due to the surface occupied by solid particle. Very simple. Why here the vapor pressure is high? Because the number of particles going to evaporate is more, whereas the number of particles, liquid particle going to evaporate is less. Because why here less particle evaporating? Why here more particle evaporating? Means here all the surface contains only liquid particle, whereas here half of the liquid particle, half of the solid particle. When there is half of this liquid particle, those half liquid particle goes and come back, and when they attain the equilibrium position, then they apply the pressure. That means this is the solution. If we consider this is as a solution, and the solution pressure is, vapor pressure is, if we consider P, now the P is less than P naught A. Understand? The P is less than P naught A. Understand? The P is less than P naught A. Now, according to the Raoult law, what is the vapor pressure of the solution? Means the vapor pressure of the solution, that is P, is directly proportional to the mole fraction of the solute. Directly proportional to the mole fraction of the solute. That means P is equal P naught A into mole fraction of the solute. Understand? So this is the Raoult law equation for solid and liquids. Very simple. What happens when we add non-volatile solid or non-volatile liquid? When we add non-volatile component, whether it is a solid or whether it is a liquid, the half of the volatile particles on the surface displaced by non-volatile. Obviously, the particle which is going to escape from the surface become half-n. That means vapor pressure is also become less and less. So, if the question may ask, for a component, for a solution, the vapor pressure is high, or for a pure solid vapor pressure is high? For pure solid, vapor pressure is high. For only volatile components. This is for solid and liquid volatile component. Whereas, when we take both are liquids, when we take both are liquids, understand? Both are volatile, understand? Then how the Raoult law changes? Suppose both are volatile liquids, means this is one liquid, closed resin, and another liquid. Understand? Now supply the heat for both, for pure solvent. This is A, this is B. Suppose this pure solvent volatile, this is also volatile, this is also volatile. Understand? For this pure solvent, the vapor pressure is P naught A. For this pure solvent, the vapor pressure is P naught B. Because when we heat, the particle goes and come back and applies the vapor pressure. Same phenomenon, the particle goes and apply on the surface of this liquid. Understand? So this is pure solvent vapor pressure. This is also different pure solvent vapor pressure. When we combine these two, what happens? We take a big container and we take this 2. Understand? Next, half of the A particles comes on the liquid surface and half of the B particles comes and the pressure applies on the surface. Now, if we take the solution is, means this is the solution after mixing component A and component B, and this solution also develops vapor pressure because both are volatile solvents, both are liquid solvents. Understand? Then what happens? The solution vapor pressure is considered as P. So this P is equal, okay, so what is this? In solution, suppose in solution, if we consider this may be decrease, this may be decrease. Suppose see here, when these solvents are in pure form, P naught A, P naught B. So after mixing these two, what is the vapor pressure of this A solvent? What is the vapor pressure of this B solvent? The vapor pressure of A solvent and vapor pressure of B solvent after mixing into the solution, individually P naught A, P naught B. But after mixing into the solution, the P naught A and P naught B, they may get changed, 100% they changes. So we may not consider as after mixing P naught A and P naught B into a solution, this may change. Okay, so we consider as PA. That is PA means the vapor pressure of A component in solution is PA and the vapor pressure of B component is in solution not individually is PB. Understand? So PA, according to Raoult law, PA means the vapor pressure of solvent A in solution, not in pure form. In pure form we know P naught A, but PA is the vapor pressure of A component in solution. PA is directly proportional to the mole fraction of that component, and PB means the vapor pressure of B component after mixing into the solution. The pure is P naught B. After mixing, it is PB means P naught B for pure. When we mix, then it will become PB. Understand? So what is PB is directly proportional to mole fraction of that component, that is B component. Understand? To remove this proportionality, P naught PA is equal to become, the constant is nothing but P naught A and XA. PB is equal to P naught B and XB. We are taking, when we remove this proportionality, one constant come. Again we are taking the pure vapor pressure P naught A and P naught B. This one. Why we are taking? Yes, they are constant. See here, you take water. For water, for pure water, the vapor pressure is always similar in universe. You go to Itanagar, you go to anywhere, Guwahati, or you go to USA or India or anywhere, the vapor pressure is remain constant. The vapor pressure of the water, the vapor pressure of the ethyl alcohol, they are not changing. Understand? Suppose the gravitational acceleration is 9.8 meter per second square, no? So it is anywhere 9.8 meter per second square. Understand? Like that, the vapor pressure of the A component is P naught A, P naught B. These both are constant. That is, to remove the proportionality, we are using constant. These are the constant. That is the reason we are using those constant. Now, the overall solution means PA and PB are the vapor pressure of the A component and B component, means individual vapor pressure of the component A and component B after mixing into the solution. Means after mixing into the solution, PA is the component A's vapor pressure. Without mixing, P naught A is the vapor pressure. After mixing in solution, it will PA. After mixing B into the solution, the vapor pressure is PB. But what is the total vapor pressure of solution? Means PA and PB together, means the solution vapor pressure after mixing PA and B. Pb. That is called as solution vapor pressure. What is Pa? When we mix Pa and Pb. In this mixing, SIRF means when we consider Pa, means the A component's vapor pressure in solution. Pb is B component vapor pressure in solution. Whereas total solution vapor pressure is P. P is equal, according to Dalton theory, is vapor pressure of solution is equal to Pa plus Pb. So what is Pa? This is 1 and this is 2. Pa is what? Pa is equal to P naught A XA. Pb is equal to P naught B XB. Understand? Now we are going to apply for only one compound and deriving a linear equation. So how we modified this XA? We are going to convert into the XB, or this XB can be converted into the XA. So we know the mole fraction. When we take two components, the total mole fraction is always equal to 1. In 11th class also you have done numericals and I have explained you clearly. That is mole fraction XA plus XB is equal 1. This is mole fraction. Understand? Suppose XA, how we write XA? XA is equal, this goes this side, 1 minus B. 1 minus B. XA is equal 1 minus B. Now see here, we are applying it, this, substituting this one, P naught A 1 minus XB plus P naught B XB. We can write it as P naught A into 1 minus P naught A into XB plus P naught B XB. So with positive value we write one side, that is, see here, P naught A plus P naught B XB. These are the positive values, and negative value is that P naught A XB. Now we are taking common, that is P naught A is equal XB, you take out, plus XB from these two. So P naught B remain and P naught A remain. So this is the solution. Vapor pressure is linear function of mole fraction of B component or linear function of A component. Suppose if we substitute 1 minus A in XB, then it will come as P naught A XA into P naught A minus PB comes. Understand? So in solution, the solution vapor pressure is dependent on any one of the components mole fraction, means linear function of the components mole fraction. Here it is a linear function of XB, B component mole fraction, or it may be the linear function of A component mole fraction. For when we have to apply, when we are taking two types of liquids. So this is for when we take two liquids. Understands? So and tomorrow we will learn the relative lowering of vapor pressure, that is colligative properties. Okay, so note it down. Do it practice.